Fab. Welcome to Supernova Labs. Some folk music in the background. Getting into all these cozy cottagecore kind of music at the minute. So it seems, based on my last video, I didn't put one out yesterday because I was suffering with a banging headache. I was staying out in the cold for 4 hours protesting the Tory party conference. But it seems it's all come undone for them. And they can't blame anybody but themselves. So with that, I think everybody knows what they're doing. Can all work on it with their own power now, right? I can get back to focusing on space planes and driving all this forwards. So I've been thinking more about all of the services and the things that go into building space planes. Like, how do you get insurance? Like, I need to go down to Lloyd's of London and have a conversation with them about putting building an insurance package for going to space is like a car insurance kind of thing, right? And that becomes a policy that other insurance companies can adopt. As well as AI and how to fly this space plane, because things move so fast at that speed, you wouldn't have the ability to react. So you'd effectively need an AI co-pilot in the loop that you're sending commands to, and it's trying to work out how to best integrate those into the flight profile and the dynamics in the current situation. And also which universities we can speak to. I was having a conversation with a professor from Glasgow University about our little engine here and how we can print it and get it tested across all different profiles. And yeah, I might be going to Glasgow at some point soon, so I'll hopefully take a camera with me and take you along with me, show you that I'm not just sat in here on my own all the time. So yeah, I noticed that Axiom have partnered with Prada to build spacesuits. Just funny because when I had a bit of a time using Midjourney at the beginning of this year, and I was generating spacesuits by fashion designers and using like Prada and Emporio Armani and all these kind of things as prompts to design the spacesuits. Came up with some pretty cool designs. Actually that inform the suit that I've got behind me. Yeah, it's moving in a good direction. Again, cultural and social proof. Like, how do you get space to the point where it's so endemic that people just don't even think about it anymore? Like, the memes are about aeroplanes and space planes and rockets and going to space and astronauts and all this kind of thing, because it's just that's just what people consider normal. That would be the world where there's a market for these space planes. And I think that's one of the biggest things, as I've said before, is like we're having to create a market from scratch for these space planes, and if we want to sell them to everyone, everyone's going to want them. Yeah, I assume this is what Steve Jobs used to worry about when he was thinking about computers, and how do you make them available for everybody? How do you make them so user-friendly and cost-effective that just the average person can build a kit like a Piper Cub or some of these bush planes that people build in their garage? Make it as simple as that to 3D print an airframe in your garage, assuming that people can buy the 3D printers or like rent them and get them laid up in their garage. Not a bad idea. So yeah, we've been working through some of the documentation for the National Space Innovation Programme now. And we've got to submit a paragraph before the end of the month, which doesn't seem too hard. I need to submit our end of year accounts. That's the big thing for me right now, because I've never done one before. I think this is something I've been feeling over the past few days at least, is that it's the grind again of doing this. It does get heavy. That I don't know, I don't really agree with a lot of the startup like grind set world, because it just burns people out, and I'm in it for the long term. So in the same way, like a marathon, right, you pace yourself, and when you're pacing yourself and everybody else is running a sprint, it's very easy for them to run past and be like, well, you're not moving fast enough, or you need to be doing X, you need to be doing Y, you need to be doing Z. And it's just like shaking your head and being like, yep, I know, don't worry, I'm working at my own pace. Yeah, it's about finding that balance, right? Because again, I don't want to be here in 10 years' time. I need to be somewhere else. I'd much rather be somewhere else. Somewhere where I've got the space to record. Somewhere where I've got the space to set up a massive metal 3D printing rig so I can just start printing airframes. Because welding's cheap. You can build welding robots that act as 3D printers fairly simply. Like it's more expensive than 3D printing, but it's less expensive than powder sintering. Like the machines alone cost a fortune. Perhaps maybe we need to get onto MX3D and see if they'll sell us one of their machines. That'd be fun. I think we just get wrapped up in all the process, right? Oh, if only I need to sign all this documentation. Oh, I need to write these applications, and oh no, these people won't speak to me because I haven't got X, Y, and Z in place. And like, maybe I just need to get back to where I first started, where, I mean, what's the worst outcome? No. Right? For most people, like, you ask them and they say no. That's completely fine. Just need to position what I'm talking about and ask for the world, and they'll tell me how much of that they can give me. I also need to close the technical skills gap as well, because like for all of the designs I'm able to draw on paper, I'm not able to model them effectively yet. Well, I can model them in 3D, yes, but like how do I prove and like test those designs against like simulation models, and how do I integrate those simulation models into field-driven design, like the gyroid that I've got lying around here somewhere. There's still massive gaps in my knowledge that I'm working with, and I'm trying to find the right people. It's just they're not that easy to find, especially ones that would be committed enough to take a risk with me. Because eventually I've got to let people in, right? Eventually I've got to open up and share this with the world. And share myself with the world. I think I'm trying to do that a little bit more by recording these. I think for the longest time I've been told that what I've got to say and what I'm working on isn't worth listening to. So, well, maybe not worth listening to, but that people don't understand the value of it. And I understand. It can all be a bit heady, and I can be quite intense because I'm just always working on this. But that's what it needs to make things happen. Right? It's one of the common traits among most of the people that build world-changing things. Is this the intensity is unmatched, and it's borderline obsession. I don't know if I would call what I'm doing an obsession, but there are definitely people a lot more obsessed than I am. And I like to think I've cultivated a balance after seeing the damage that obsession can do. But yeah, I do wish I was further along than where I am. It's hard work, right? Hard work. I think I realised a long time ago that if I want to get to the heights I need to be to make this work, I'm going to have to work twice or 3 times as hard as other people. There are a lot of people that are naturally intelligent, and I've tried to cultivate everything I know just from reading, and just building up a bank of knowledge that is unmatched on this topic, at least for my age. I live quite close to a hospital here, so there's always ambulances going around here. We've got an ageing population in the UK, so one of the big problems with the health service here is that a lot of it's tuned to serving the elderly and not serving the young. But yeah, onwards into the breach, right? Gotta build the biggest thing I can build in a lifetime. And I hope that I can start bringing along people with me. So with that, I'll leave you for today. I'm gonna have my coffee. I'm gonna start looking at company accounts and all of the stuff I've been avoiding for a long time. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll speak to you soon.